Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed Al-Najjar. I'm back with a new video. In this video we will talk about how can we rig this car very quickly using an add-on called RBC, okay? And we will tell you how this can be done and how easy to use this RBC add-on and how the results are perfect. So let's get started. The first thing that you need to do is to go to the akaStudios. This website, I will leave it in the description of this video, and you will have this RBC add-on page to download it. Unfortunately, it's not free to use, but it's a reasonable price comparing to the features that it gives. Starting from $18, you can put here 18 and then I want this, and you will complete the purchase cycle. Then you will download the add-on. Now, downloading the add-on, we will go to show you what's the result of this add-on. How can you download it? It will come like this, which is the RBC release master.zip. When you unzip this file, you will have this folder which has the add-on itself to be installed with Blender, and then you will have the RBC rig.blend, and this is like a ready rig that is dynamic. You can tweak it, you can play with it until you get the results that you want, and you can tweak it in a very intuitive way. So we will see how can we do that in a minute. Okay, so once you download all of these things, you go back to Blender, and from edit preferences you just click on install, and then you select the the RBC zip file add-on, and you just install it. Here I just installed it, and I tried it. It's like a very positive experience, let's say. So RBC, here it is. I just downloaded it, and from now you will have it in the menu here, RBC, and this is the first thing that you will notice here. It's asking you to append the RBC rig file, which is also delivered with the add-on, which is this one. Okay, so let's get started and see what are the capabilities of this add-on and how can we use it. So I will disable this. I will go to solid mode and I will disable collection 2 for now, and let's see how this will work with us. So the first thing, I'm gonna import this, okay, which is the RBC file. It's in the Blender work add-ons. This is it. So I will append this, accept, and once you click on append, notice what will happen here in the outline as well as on the ground here. So import RBC, and you will see that a new collection, which is the RBC add-on, will be created with all the necessary, let's say, objects to be the helpers of the rigging process. It will also include this ground plane, okay, which will be acting as a rigid body so that the car stands on. So let's try to align this with our car, this Tesla car here that we have. Okay, and by the way, I just installed or downloaded this Tesla model from the Blender kit. Okay, and it's good to know that to prepare your car for this rig add-on, you need to have your car in 5 main components. Like the body is one of the components. You have to merge all or join all of the parts of the body in one object. Make sure to apply any modifiers during that. This was like a very tough process that I did for this car, because I had to put them all together in one object. Then we have the wheels or the tires. We have the left back, left front, right back, right front, and also we have objects that are assigned or to be assigned to the wheels, such as this brakes. Okay, so these brakes, we will assign them also to the car. As long as it moves, they will stay stationary, but the wheel will start rolling. Okay, then what's the next step? The next step is to go here to the RBC add-on and start assigning each component to its button here. Like the car body, this is the car body. You select the car body and then you go and click on car body. So this is the car body. As you can see, the big box now is aligned to the car body. Okay, now then we will select the front left wheel. This is the front left wheel. Then the back left wheel, this is the back left wheel. Again, from the other side, we will talk about or we will assign the right front wheel and right back wheel. So now make sure that your car is aligned with this arrow here. So the front of your car is towards the arrow, the back of your car is towards this flat edge here. Now what we will do now, we will go to these brakes, and once you click on it, it's the front left wheel component, so we will add it to the front left wheel. The same thing, we will do it for every other brake. This is the front back left wheel, and if I go here, this is the back right wheel, back right wheel, so I will add it to the back right, and then we will have this, which is the front right. I hope I didn't miss anything. Was it correct? I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm done. Now we will talk about the options once you generate the rig. The next step is I will generate a rig. Before I generate the rig, I would like you to notice that also with the setup that this RBC add-on brings with it, we have two cameras. One is stationary and the other one is follow camera. So we have a stationary camera and follow camera fully rigged to follow the car exactly. Okay, and if I go now to the camera, you will see this is the follow camera. It will follow your car wherever it goes. And the other camera, if I go and switch to a stationary camera, you will see that this is the stationary camera, and it also keeps looking to the car wherever it goes, but from a fixed position. Okay, now what's next? The next thing is actually to generate the rig. So let me generate the rig and see what other options we will have in this add-on. Now the rig is generated and the car is on the ground. We will see that we have a pivot point. This is the pivot point where the wheels actually will start rolling around itself. So this pivot point, you can go to front view mode and you will start to you can manipulate the pivot point here. I will leave it as it is as a default just for now to see what's going on. Later on, if we need to change it, we will change it. But there's a very also important point that when you do the modeling part of this car, you will have to make sure that the pivot point of these wheels are actually in the center exactly, otherwise it will bring like weird motion for the car. So after what we did, so the pivot point, we explained it. You can disable it and enable it from here to see where it is. The turn radius, this is how far the wheels can turn right or left, so you have to assign it with degrees. So 35 degrees is the maximum that you can go while driving this car to the right or to the left. So you can increase it, you can decrease it according to the car model, to the car type that you are trying to rig. We have the suspension, and we have the suspension limits, and the spring stiffness, and also the spring damping. And let's see what are these actually. Now if I hit start here, okay, if I hit play or start, now these are the default settings. I didn't change anything for the suspensions or for the spring stiffness or whatever. So if I hit play now, you will see that the car will drop into the ground, and there was like some damping on it. Okay, if I go to reset, or you can just click shift left to reset, shift left arrow. So let's see again what's the effect that we're having here. So this is the car at the beginning before start rolling or before start the animation. Once you click play, it goes down. So shift, see how it goes down and it bounces actually, but I can see that there is like some overlapping between the car body and the tires, so I need to fix that. Okay, so pause, go back to the beginning. Okay, and let's see how can we fix that. The first thing we will do is the limits. I think we can tweak the limits a little bit, can increase the limits or decrease the limits, and let's see what's going on. Let's click on play. See, the decrease is actually, when I increased it went worse. So let me decrease it to 0.5 for example, and let me see what will happen here. Now still, so I put the limit for example to 0.1, and let's start. Now it's just like going down a little bit, but again we need more than that. So let me try playing with the stiffness of the springs. Let me put them like 200, and as you can see now it's better. We can also work on that a little bit more, so we can increase this to 250, and let's see how it goes. So right now I believe it's perfect comparing to the car situation. Okay, so that's the good part of for my car. I believe these settings are fine. Spring damping, how long the car will keep damping until it stops. So you can increase it or decrease it. Let's see how that affects as well. So this is the damping of 5, and this I believe it's like a little bit too much. So if I go to 6 and replay, so now you can see that the damping is a little bit not taking that effect. So if I go to 7 now, let me go back. Now I believe that this is something that I can play with. Okay, so that's something again we can tweak. The next part here is the physics actually, and the weight is actually the weight of the body of the car. So you can make it less or you can make it higher. So if I go now and put it 3 for example, or let it be 4, and while we are playing we will change it to 3. So click play and I will change it to 3, and we will see the difference. Now the car body is actually more into the Z axis because it's lighter on the suspensions. So this is interconnected with the suspension settings here. So as long as you are playing with the weight, be careful that this is actually affecting also the damping and the stiffness as well. So I believe this is fine here. Okay, that's actually fine, or we can leave it to 4. That's something also of your decision. Now we have here also the weight pivot point, or the weight focus point. Okay, so the weight is 4. Okay, but where it is focused, or where is it concentrated? So is it in the front of the car because of the motor, or the back of the car because of let's say another motor that comes to the back of the car? It depends. So you can see where it is right now and you can move it, okay, and put it in a place that you feel that this is the weight of the car is totally concentrated at this point, and then you click on apply weight shift. So once you apply the weight shift and then click play, you will see that the car body is actually bending a little bit or moving a little bit to the front, because the heavy part is in the front and the physics will change accordingly. So that's also something very, very nice in this add-on. We have also the tire friction. So the tire friction is how the tires are actually interacted with the ground in terms of friction or drifting. For drifting, for example, you need to keep the tire friction as low as possible, but for let's say safe drive, you will need to increase the tire friction. and you will assign that tire friction weight to the front wheels or to the back wheels according to whatever you would like to have. So I will increase it a little bit to 4, okay, or 5. And now we will move to the fun part. The fun part is with the motor torque. Motor torque is actually how powerful is the motor while the beginning of the car or of the motion is starting. So it gives more power during the acceleration. So that's the motor torque, and you can increase it or decrease it according to the scene that you would like to have. Let me just play it so you can see what I'm trying to achieve here. So if I go now to the camera, and if I click on play here, okay, and we have the drivers, by the way, here, how much is the velocity of the car. So if I increase it like to 5 for now, and the steering is the direction, minus it means to the left, positive it means to the right, and you can control it up to 35 so while driving. And this is the brake, so you can click on the brake here during the motion to stop the car. So let me play it. Initially I'm giving it a positive 5, that means it will go in the forward direction with a speed of 5, and a motor torque is 2. So if I click now on play, it will start moving, and if I change the steering, as you can see now, it's rolling out, okay, and here's our scene. So see how smooth it is. So you can just put the first things and then you can control it from here, and we have a nice drift here, see. Oh, that's cool. And when I hit the brakes, it stops. So that's how we can control it. Okay, there's another way of controlling it, which is by the keyboard or the controller. If you have Xbox controller or PS controllers, and they are linked to your device. I don't know actually the setup of these devices, how can be done, but it is available there. Now the last controller available with this add-on is the keyboard with actually these controls, W, S, D, A, and also we have the R for the reset, and we have the left shift for slow motion. This is a nice feature. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it here. I'm gonna try to have it right now, but it was not working when I was trying this, although it is there. I'm sure it's there. I didn't have the time just to check why it's not working. But when you click left shift, it should move to slow motion, and it will give your car a very nice slow motion. It will reduce the speed to 1.5. So that's a good way also. Okay, what else do we have here? Roll constraint. The roll constraint, if your, let's say, fraction or tire fraction is small a little bit. Oh, who started it? I didn't start it. Okay, if your tire fraction is in low value, where's the tire fraction? Physics, tire friction. Okay, if your tire friction is a little bit low, that means your car will start drifting, and it might fall while, or it might flip while it's having a sharp, let's say, turn. So that's something that you can enable it so that the car will not flip when it goes to a sharp, let's say, turn. So that's something good. You can play with all these settings, and you can see the output of these things. Now the big question that will be here is how can I record all my animations right now? Now at the beginning, the cache is there and the keyframe is there. So the play, when you click on play or when you start your animation, everything that you're doing is actually kept in the cache, and whenever you restart, the cache will rebuild itself, so you will use everything. But what you can do is you can record the cache after actually having these motions in place. So let's start. Let's try to do that thing again. Okay, so the steering now, let me put it to 0, and it's 5 with motor torque. We can increase it just to show you the difference. So I will put it 5, and the drive is to 10, and now we will have a crazy drive actually. So let me click on reset the brake as well, and then click on play. Play and go to the steering. See how fast my car is. I can't control it, but the motion is actually very nice when it comes to drifting in this way. So you can see now how I can control it, and before it falls down I'm gonna hit the brake. Okay, that's great experience. I like it actually. So once you play this, okay, then you will go and record your cache before doing anything. Okay, you will record your cache. Once it is recorded, you can go to reset. I didn't stop, pause. Okay, that might affect our work. Okay, let me do it again from the beginning. Delete cache, delete current cache. I forgot to pause it. It was very quick. Let me just decrease this to 5 back again, and this to 2, so I can control it in a better way and see the output. So play, reset this to 0, and the brakes, delete or disable them. So play now, it's moving nice. I can control it in a better way like this, so I can have a little bit of control over my car. And that's it. Brake and then pause. So everything now is in the cache. I will click on record cache, and now we can go and play it back again. Okay, it should be, sorry, restart, play, and we can see the motion of the car that we're doing, but that's still in the cache. We did not actually move it to keyframes and animation and the real animation. Okay, now to do that, we can go to keyframe and we can record keyframes. Now it's the same, restart and record keyframes, and it will start recording our keyframes actually in the keyframe in the timeline. So delete keyframes, not delete recorded keyframes, and let me see how exactly it works. So restart, we can record the cache and play it. There's nothing in the cache for now. Pause, restart, delete cache, again this is 0. The brakes are there. Okay, play. Let's see how can we do the record of the keyframes. So click on play, and that will start our recording. Actually, it's recording the keys to the time frame or to the timeline. Okay, again, here's the brake, here's pause, and if we go to restart, record keyframes, okay, now it should be working. Stop, back, okay, record cache, play. Nothing is going on actually. It's not because of the add-on for sure, it's because I'm not doing it in a right way. So delete keyframes, going back from the beginning, and let's see what we can do. Just the last time, for the last time, let me start here or play. Okay, now I'm moving it. This is the car, playing with it, just very short and quick motion. Let me hit the brakes, click pause, record keyframes, record, stop recording. I don't know. Okay, you can just play with it. Let me try to record the frames directly from here. So I'm gonna remove the brake, I'm gonna turn this directly, and for some reason I just clicked everything here. I don't know what was the reason for this. But let me go back again, play, record keyframes. I'm moving the car. Okay, here it came back to wherever it was, not yet. Here it is, and hit the brake and pause, stop recording. So everything now is on the keyframe, okay? And we can go back to the beginning and we can start watching the play, okay? So this is how you can record your keyframes, and you can record your animations and simulations, okay? Now the next step is actually, let me go to the material view here, and we will show you another good part of this module or of this add-on, so which is actually you can add obstacles, or you can interact with other objects as rigid body, not only the ground. So I have prepared some of the items here in one of the collections, which is collection 2. Let me enable it. I have a ground, and I have some boxes here, some cones, and some barriers, and one slider, let's say, to jump over it. So let's see how can we do this. I will assign actually this ground. I don't know what's this circle, and from where did it come. I pressed something, I pressed on WA, okay, now it's gone. So let me select this, and is it selected? Collection 2, forget about the RBC, collection 2, this is plane, this is the plane, okay? And I will assign it here in the add-on itself, okay? I will assign it as, actually, this is a passive collision. Passive collision, it means that the car will interact with it, but it will not affect it if it hits it. So this is a passive, and if I select these barriers, I will make them also passive. But if I select these objects, all of them, and click on active collisions, they will be an active colliders. This one is also passive collision, and I will go down a little bit and see that this is actually a rigid body. So the rigid body will be actually covered by a convex hull rigid body, okay? So the convex hull will make my car walk straight like this. It will not go with the bendy part of it. So we need to change it from convex hull to actually mesh, so that it can deform our car. Okay, this is not a convex hull. I don't want the convex hull, I need the mesh. So with that, I believe we can assign the mass or the friction or the bounciness and so on of this passive rigid body. Okay, we can also assign something like the mass. I think that it's the active collisions that we can control the mass of them, so how heavy this object is, so you can control it from here, and you can also control the shape of the rigid body that will be surrounding this object. Okay, now it's a good thing. I will go to this ground in the RBC and hide it. This is the ground. I will hide it from here and from here, and let's try to play our animation on this and see what will happen. I'm not sure if that will do anything, because we need to restart after all these settings for sure. So let me go to the cache back again, delete the cache, delete current cache, and let me hit the play and start interacting with these objects. The controller is the driver. Why it is not running? Why the brake is not activated? Okay, I get the reason. The reason was because actually of the keyframes that was recorded. So I cleared the keyframes and now it's enabled back again. So if we start now playing back again, I have the control on the controls, so I can move the car like this, and let me bring it back to backward, then move this like this, and then drive forward. What's going on? Let me go back and hit these objects. As you can see here, now it's collides with these objects, but again it hits this and stop, because this is actually a passive rigid body. So that's the case here, and we can interact with other objects by controlling all these things. If you would like me to show you the keyboard control, then we can also do that. Let's just restart, and let me go to the keyboard controls, and let me start by playing this. Start. I hope I can do something good. So I'm hitting all these things and moving back, and try to hit this thing. I'm not good at all. I'm not good at all. So escape to stop it, reset, and let me go to the camera. Actually, the camera will give us better thing. And here I noticed something, that this, when we put it as a passive collision, and again the convex hull is the problem, because if I display the convex hull, it will show the whole object as convex hull, and it will not allow me to pass through. So the car keeps hitting it and stops, even in this part down here. And I removed this from being a passive collider as well, so I will return it back, and I will move it to mesh. Okay, and here I will put this again to mesh. Okay, mesh. So let's disable the convex hull, keep it as a mesh, and let's try to play again our animation. So go back, start. I hope I can jump. Not yet. Oh, now. Oh, I'm very bad. I'm very bad in car driving. So why it's going like this again? The ground, I need to disable it, because it's just flickering, as you can see right now. So let me disable the ground here from being displayed. Reset everything, restart, and then I hope I can just bring it directly here to jump, and I will increase the car speed to, let's say, 10, and the motor torque to again 5, and let's see how this will go. Play, hopefully. Pause, restart. It's the keyboard start. Oh, why did I stop? Go. Let me go back and fix it. Oops, what stupid driver is this? Oh, I'm really bad in driving cars. Is this the way actually that how I'm driving? Come on, go up. Maybe I will need to change these things. Okay, anyway, so stop it, escape, and restart. This was our let's say tutorial for today. Thank you for watching. Please, if you like it, support us by subscribing in the channel, and give your comments or put your comments. Maybe somebody has better ideas, or somebody can drive the car better than me. For sure I will find millions. So thank you very much. See you in the next video. Bye bye.